the Brains Trust, introduced by the question master, answering any
time, but it's only been a week. We've got Eyes back on board this week. Brycey's away fucking playing golf somewhere in London, so he's given us the shake this week. But we're lucky enough to get a special guest on. I guess you'd call him I think he does listen to the Brain Trust, but keen Waikiwi lad, stalwart, Kyle Mckenzie. Kyle, great to have you on, man. How's morale down at Bainfield Road?
Yeah, look, morale's high, to be fair. It's no surprise. We've been having a rough start to the season, but morale's good. First round shouldn't count for too much, and we'll come to the next one fizzing, I think.
Yeah, nice, man. What's the approach been for you boys? Like you said, you had a pretty tough start there, but like I know talking to the Riversdale boys on Saturday night, you boys were right in that game in the first half. So how are you adjusting playing those teams that have been in the X-Soper?
Yeah, no, it is pretty tough. There's definitely that step up. You can tell in the results. Obviously, Tiana, I'm not going too flash, but the rest of them absolutely cream it, really. They're loving playing us, probably Germany teams. But, yeah, you've just got to front up for the full 80, really, which is what we've been struggling with. But
yeah,
you know what those big country teams are going to bring, and you just got to try and match it, which couldn't do for 80.
Have you noticed, I guess, playing the teams that have been playing the X-Soper, have you picked up a few things along the way that you guys have brought into your game as such?
Oh, I think
bits and pieces.
Yeah, you can tell the structure's a wee bit better. Like they know what they're playing, and they execute it a hell of a lot better. Have we brought it into our game? We might have tried.
Yeah.
Chip away.
Yeah, we do try and chip away.
You've also been competing quite well in the boat races. I understand you've only had one loss so far. Would that be right? Why give you? I heard there was a minor accounting issue with numbers. Numbers of people involved. Yeah, I think you might have actually got the blame for that, to be fair, from what Beefy told me.
Yeah, look, Beef's quick to throw me under. There was certainly an accounting area. We had a new lad that was pretty keen to get in there. I said, yeah, sure, go for gold, but no one jumped out. So,
right. We
do have a travelling supporter that seems to jump in the boat race every now and again. So I'll blame him. Jezza, if you're listening, that's on you, buddy. If you don't play, don't jump in the boat race. But yeah, we were beat even man forward, to be fair. So, but yeah, we come back against Tiana. No, we didn't. We lost against Tiana. No, we lost.
Oh, you lost that as well. Yeah. I thought you won that one. Okay.
I don't know where we've got these big raps on the boat race. We don't miss them. We just love them.
Well, I just know that Beefy, there wouldn't be many quicker than Beefy going round. So I just figured that a lot of guys have sort of fallen behind Beef there, but he's a reasonably special man on a boat race, or just sculling piss in general. So, that's probably where the raps for the Kiwi have come from.
Yeah,
speaking just quickly. Sorry, mate. You go.
No, you go. And the big fridge seems to shy away from them for some reason. He certainly keeps them going. So the more we can get him involved, the more we can win, to be fair.
Just quickly, like I was mentioned, Tiana, you boys travelled to Tiana. Now, I had sort of mentioned a couple of weeks back on the pod that you guys had made a weekend of it. Do you want to just talk us through how that went? Obviously, you went up, you won the game, and then how that Saturday, Sunday went first.
Yeah, we made a call pretty early in the season that we had a big bus trip at Waikaka, so we thought let's just stay in Tiana. We didn't have that Wakatipu game this year like we did last year, so we just thought Tiana would be a good chance to really rip into it. And yeah, just on the way home, a few boys got thirsty, and I ended up driving the boys out to Colic Bay. Had to pick up a few things from the Olds place and left them at the pub for a couple of hours and come back, and they were in all sorts, to be fair. Yeah, it was good to see.
It looked like it, just in a couple of snaps I got from Beefy, that the boys had really climbed in on that Sunday, which is great. It's probably not so good if you're driving like you were yourself, but I'm sure those boys really enjoyed it.
Yeah, it was good to just watch it unfold, to be honest.
Nah, nice, mate. Right, we might get into it. What we might do, since we got you on, Cole, we'll start in reverse order. Generally, we go with the prems, but we might go we'll go Div 1 first. We'll start in Pool B. So, Pool B, we had first game was Tokanui went to the showgrounds, took on the Albion lads. I think we might have tipped a bit of a bath here, but 29-28 Tokanui, which was pretty tight, pretty unexpected here. Kyle, from your point of view, that score?
Yeah, big time. Like Tokanui were tracking really well. I thought they'd come out of the blocks and just really put their foot down and say, we want to be in the Sofa, so we should be sending these teams packing. But no, obviously Albany at home are quite strong, so good to see.
I think one thing from that game, Tokanui needed 5 points, and they probably got it. I'd imagine they didn't kick, 5 penalties, so they've got their 5 points. It's just going to be a bit niggly for them if it comes down to point stuff, because I understand they'll still be reasonably close with Matilda, but yeah, no, still that's a pretty good effort from Albion. They've put in a couple of good efforts in the last few weeks, so I'd say an upset's not too far from them.
A bit of improvement in the Albion boys. You boys obviously haven't played. You boys didn't get to play Albion in this first round, Kyle. So
no, we haven't. It's probably a good thing. They were our banana skin team last year, so
yeah,
I've been dreading that game, to be fair.
Just quickly, how do you like going to the Gore Showgrounds?
Yeah, no, not a huge fan. My first outing there, I picked up a big injury, so haven't liked it since. Not a fan.
Yeah, no, that's a great call. That's a great call. Right, so well done to Tokanui, but also well done to Albion on a tight one there. Right, next game in Pool B was Matoda. They took on Pioneer at home, and another tight game, 28-25. Matoda get the win. Keeps them well in the hunt for the ex-Sopa. Pretty, I guess, predictable result, but maybe a little bit closer than we might have thought. Eyes?
Yeah, those two, I think, that keeps Matilda on pace with Tokanui for that last ex-Sopa spot in that grade. So I guess both teams are holding serve. But Pioneer seem to be a little bit, they're pretty up and down. They're putting some good performances as they run the, I guess you'd say, better teams close, and then some performances where they've been disappointing. So I can't make heads or tails of them at times. But it sounded like quite a good game.
Yeah, Kyle, you guys obviously you did play Matoda in the first game, was that right? First game of the season?
First game of the season, yeah. We were a bit sus on what they were going to come out like. Obviously not playing last year.
Yeah.
We thought it could be a good win for the Kiwi, but no, they've come out firing. Good to,
yeah.
Looks like they're playing a good brand too. Playing a good brand.
Yeah, big time, yeah. They've got some good hard runnings in the forwards, and they don't mind spilling it wide, so.
Feed the backs.
Yeah, exactly.
Feed the backs. Good one there for Matoda. So they're well and truly alive in the ex-Sopa. Right, last game, it was the Brains Trust game of the week, and it delivered, as you might have seen on the stream. 21 points to 18. I think there was a 4.5 level ricochet earthquake in Wyndham when Michael Robinson kicked that drop goal. But yeah, Mikey with the match winner, 18-0. Couldn't separate them until injury time. But I guess another Edendale Wyndham classic, Oz, in the box.
Yeah, Battle of the Bridge. I actually watched that on the portal. It was a really good watch, and it was probably a game that was almost deserving of a draw. I hate saying that because draws are fucking shit, but it was a really even contest. I think Devin McLeod picked up an injury. Maybe it was about 30 to go. And
Kurt Schrader as well.
Yeah, Kurt Schrader was in the first half, so losing those two guys because they've got a reasonably potent back line. They didn't really get too many chances after that. So,
yeah. But
to Wyndham's credit, they just kept themselves in it. They got a pretty nice forward pack by the looks of things, so they just sort of ground them down. But it was a good game.
Yeah, Kyle, what are your thoughts, mate? You guys obviously took on Wyndham a few weeks back at home, but pretty tough nuggety side.
Yeah, both those teams are out the gate really. Always tough teams to play. It's good if you're competing. They're always great games, but I happened to be away on that game, which was probably a good one to be absent. But they're both tough teams, and it was always going to come down to a close game.
Yeah. And as we touched on last week, I was like Wyndham playing, trying to play a good brand of footy. I know it might not have shown it in the highlights. A couple of, forward efforts, especially the first try, bit of a scrum effort where we thought they might have dominated Edendale. I know I spoke to actually Edendale coach Matt Richards earlier in the week, and he he was obviously pretty disappointed that they didn't get the win. He felt that they looked to attack Wyndham down the blind. Scored a couple of nice wee tries, as you would have saw on the highlights. So yeah, bit disappointing for Edendale, I guess, to be so close but not quite get that win.
I think Riley Ashby scored one, but the video actually didn't see him scoring it, so I think he was probably reasonably tough about that. I saw that on some social media that he was doesn't score many, so I wouldn't have minded seeing it. But they did actually work that blind really well, especially in the first half.
Yeah, well, plenty for both those teams to think about as we head into the last round. Right, we'll go to Pool A. Kyle, it was you lads at home against Riversdale. In the end, I guess Riversdale run out comfortable victors, 46-14. But I understand you boys were well and truly in it at half time.
Yeah, good research. Thanks for that. After a good 25, 30 minutes, I thought I was going home with some bragging rights. But the boys just put on a clinic in that last half. And, geez, it looked like a training run for all of them, to be fair. They were just scoring try after try. And, yeah, it was pretty disheartening. But that first 25, 30 is best we've played all season. So if we can bring that again, it'd be great.
Who played well for for you boys and for their boys?
Shy Mitchell on his 50th. He really stepped
nice.
up. Yeah, good on him. Got the blazer. He always plays a bloody good game, to be fair. But yeah, really stepped up on his 50th for us. For them, everyone in the top five just really fronted up. They were just all hard runners.
Yeah,
I think Big Stinger got the 3 points, which was well deserved. Scrum well, and geez, it was hard to put down when he got that ball in some space, which he doesn't really deserve to have in space.
Nice. There was a couple of trips into town for the Riversdale boys. What I mean, back to back, was it? I know they come in and played collegiate. So yeah, pretty good effort from them to get, I guess, take 2 wins, come to town. Like as we always mention on here, like tough side at home, but maybe at times have struggled on the road. But they'll be more than happy to pick up those 2 wins, big 5 points for that round.
Especially coming into the Cargo. I know those country boys absolutely hate it. So.
Yeah, probably fair. It's a decent hike in.
Yeah.
Doing it every other week, like in this first comp, get fucking a bit annoying.
Yeah. You drag those big farmers off the paddocks. They don't like it. Not at all. But I'll be happy with the wins.
Yeah, nice. Right, we'll go to the next one. We'll go to Mosburn. They took on Collegiate. And, fair to say, we actually don't have it. The score on the website is red in this one, but
you got 53 zip.
Yeah, 53 zip. I'm not quite sure if that was right, but because we did have a message come through from the Collegiate. Collegiate have actually started an Instagram account, so if you're in the means of following the Collegiate RFC, give them a wee follow. But I understand they were in 19-3 up at the break, so that 53-0 must be a little bit incorrect. But sounds like in the second half, Mosburn just run away with that one. So probably a bit of a surprise there, Oz. We were tipping a bit of a close one, but Mosburn got the chocolates.
Yeah, I think I probably tip Mosburn because I tip Mosburn every week. But, that's probably the margin of victory would be a bit of a surprise. Especially, I think Mosburn got towed up the week before by someone. It's escaping me, but...
Waikaka,
that's right. So they were obviously pretty buoyed after, to put in a good performance, and they have in the second half by the sounds of things.
Yeah. Kyle, you a bit surprised by the scoreline there?
Oh, kind of. I did think that they'd be a little bit too strong at home, but yeah, because Collegiate, I don't know how well they travel, but especially that long way. Don't know. Yeah, I knew it was going to be close, but
yeah, and I guess they had
surprising.
Two sort of tight losses against, I guess, Waikaka and Riversdale, who are sort of top of the tree, so it might have taken a bit out of them.
I thought it'd be a lot closer, but
anyway. But yeah, great win for Mosburn. Keeps them out of that drop zone, I guess. That deadly drop zone we'll talk about shortly. We'll go to the last game. Div 1, it was Waikaka taking on Tianau at Waikaka, and Waikaka took the points, 26 points to 7, but probably we talked about the Mosburn one being a blowout, possibly a little bit closer than we might have thought, Ice.
Yeah, I think so. It's probably, I guess, when you look back when Waikaka, if they got Riversdale this week, might be a little bit of banana skin game. We sort of look forward, but it's got on Tiana from coming all the way down, especially the season. They haven't been having like that good of a season, so come down there, put a good performance against a pretty good Tiana side. Waikiki side, sorry, they'll be reasonably happy, but yeah, just Waikiki carry on with 5 points. So
Yeah,
good.
Kyle, what was the aftermatch feed Tiana put on Fez when you went up there?
Vinny sausages with some mash and yeah.
Oh, that's
And
not
the veg,
bad.
obviously. No, it was good. Good gravy. Real good gravy.
I guess that's one of the perks of playing, all sort of different teams. You're playing country teams, couple of town teams, teams on the outskirts. Like, you must get some pretty hearty feeds on a Saturday night.
Yeah, big time. Those ex-Sofa teams, great feeds. Big shout out to Edendale. Best feeds all here. Yeah, huge
good.
fan.
You're not getting Vinny sausages like you're getting Tiana, a town team, are you?
No.
Or you're very unlikely.
No, you're getting your box standard.
Yeah.
Whatever. Going cheap.
Devil sauce.
Actually, I never went to those ones Blues put on a couple of weeks ago.
I actually did. And they weren't bad at all.
Yeah, they were nice. Just took more than a plastic knife to get through them. That's all. But yeah, they were nice.
Big fuckers. Yeah. No, they were good.
Good stuff. Nothing like a good post-match feed. Rightio, we'll go to Premier because there was a couple of close games and a bit of a blowout. Star obviously had the bye ahead of this last week of games, but Woodlands got the points, 24-22 against Blues. The old cliche game of two halves, it sure was. 19-0 to Woodlands at half-time. They went 24-0 up and then pretty much held on for grim life. Talking to one Liam Howley, she was 24-22, another 5 minutes of play. Blues may well have had the win, but nonetheless, Woodlands bank all-important 5 points.
Yeah, absolutely. That was probably, I don't know, surprised probably selling Woodlands a little bit short, but I think the way Blues have been travelling, that they were probably good enough to win that game and then weren't far at the end. But from what I saw, it was sort of, I thought Liam Howley and Matt Fanger sort of got them in pretty good spots early, and the Fords did a pretty good job against that Blues pack. I saw Howley got a meat pie, so he'd be reasonably happy.
Been talking about it all week, mate.
Yeah, it's a bit of a change from last year where he was picking up one a week, so I'd be pretty happy with that. But I don't think Blues will be too disappointed. They got 2 points out of it and give themselves a chance this week against Pulp to carry some points through to the next round.
Yeah, Kyle, just a question, mate. I know you play, boys Gerald Dermody in that Div 1 bracket. Do you boys follow the prems, I guess, with one eye, or, you don't follow it too closely? Or how do the boys, I guess, look towards that Premier grade from your point of view?
Yeah, I think most of the boys will definitely keep an eye on it. It's always good to see what Southland Rugby's all going. Me personally, a bit of a Woodlands fan, so I follow them a wee bit. I probably shouldn't have said that been on this pod, but we'll see how we go.
No, it's all open here, mate.
It's fine, mate.
Yeah. I definitely check the scores after every game, and most lads, someone will bring it up on the phone and bring it up after the game and say how everyone's going.
I suppose everyone's got mates in those teams, so it's like you're just sort of following your mates in some instances.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, nice. So, good one there for Woodlands. We'll talk about their upcoming trip this weekend. Right, we'll go to the Les George Oval. It was the Marist lads taking on the Barbars, which is another, I guess, Barbars out to a quick lead, 20 points to 7, but the Marist boys rallied in the second half. Scored a few meat pies, including yourself in the left-hand corner. 33-25, 5 tries to 3, so all-important win for the Marist boys.
Yeah, no, it was we needed to win that from a Marist point of view. And to be fair, our warm-up was pretty, the feeling of the warm-up was pretty poor. We felt pretty flat. I think you probably tested that. But in Woodland, Barber started they were quick off the mark. But to our boys' credit, we took ground in and put in a pretty good performance from maybe 20 minutes in. Tavita Latu was pretty special for us. He sort of put us on his back and carried fucking hard. No one wanted to tackle him. He's sort of like a back version of Leo is the way I kind of compare him in terms of what it'd be like tackling him. But The boys are pretty chuffed.
Glad
after
we
that.
don't have to be fair.
Fuck yeah. But, to be fair, Barbars are actually still reasonably impressive. Although there's 7, Kane Taylor, his first year out of school.
Yeah.
I think he's been playing 8 most of this. Yeah, he was fucking good. He was very good. And they had Jacob Colton out, and while they missed him, he was a pretty able replacement. So they're going to be right in the hunt at the end of the season, I'd imagine, Barbars.
And they did still play some good footy at times, especially earlier in the game, didn't they? Like they did, breach us a couple of times, especially in that first half. Second half, probably Maris boys dominated position, but there's some good signs from the Barbars there still playing like a team who have come off a couple of big wins. So I'm sure they'll still take a lot of confidence out of that. And
to be fair, that was their first close game in probably a month, so they'll be better forward there. I think they've been sort of giving teams baths of late, so yeah. That'll help them in the long run. Yeah. You wouldn't have any access to the footage, Kyle, but you would check out a bit of highlights of, I guess, the different tries in the games that go up on Facebook, etc.
Yeah, for sure. I was watching a few highlights at Smoko time. It's pretty hard to see who's actually dotting down. But no, it was good to see. To be fair, I thought ordinary punters would probably think Barbars would have a good shot at that one. So. The Maris boys did well to put on performance at home, I suppose. Well, where's George? But
I think we almost tipped against ourselves last week, to be fair, with our so.
Bryce certainly did.
Yeah, it probably wasn't heaps of confidence, but yeah.
Good one for the Maris boys nonetheless. Right, we'll go to the last game. It was, I guess, not so much a close one. Pirates Old Boys taking on Midlands. POB coming off a bye week. Midlands, their last game before they exit and drop down to ex-Open. She was one-way traffic. I know Midlands did give a few guys who have been in their wider squad, I guess you call it, with no B team, an opportunity. I did see Joey Robbins had the 7 jumper on, and POB ran right, to be fair, 71 points to 12. So I guess from Midlands, probably not ideal going out on a bit of a hiding, but in terms of they probably had rest a few personnel. There was nothing really for them to play for, especially after last week. They put a huge effort in and, come so close to knocking over Woodlands. So it was possibly something we might have saw coming, and I know we did talk about that last week, guys.
Yeah, it was a little bit unfortunate. I watched the game, and it was in the last 10 minutes, I think, what Pob scored 4 maybe converted tries. So it did blow out a little bit. But it did look like Pob had the week off beforehand, didn't they? And I mean, they looked like they were full of running. It was a good day, and I think Midlands are the only team who've played 6 weeks on the bounce. Yeah. So I think we're doing that this week, but it is pretty tough when every other team's getting a little break. We freshen up, and they didn't. And that's just the way the draw works. But they can, I guess, go back to the ex-Open and they put in a really good effort. And although they didn't get a win, I don't think you can question. I think you don't think you can question the decision to come up because they've given a really good account of themselves. So they can definitely hold their head high. And
Kyle, just a question, mate, around, Midlands are dropping down. Has there been much chatter around, yourselves or the teams that you have played around them coming back down into the ex-Open?
Yeah, I think the boys are definitely worried, especially after maybe not so much the last game, but they've been competing. They've always been good games and score lines have been well. And it's good to see them doing that. I hope that gives another team a good confidence to have 2 up there next year, hopefully.
Yeah.
I think the boys in the ex-Open will definitely be a little bit worried about that. And I hope they do come down absolutely fizzing and put some points on some teams, hopefully.
Yeah, no, it will be that. Those first couple of weeks, I'm actually looking forward to seeing how that goes. To be fair, Midlands, just I guess where that gap, if there is a gap at all, and if there is a gap, what's the distance of it. So we'll look forward to that with bated breath. Right, we'll go straight into the previews, fellas. We'll host straight in because some big games coming up. We'll start in Division 1 again. We'll go to Pool A. Your pool, Kyle, the pool that the Waikiwi lads are in. We'll start at Riversdale. Riversdale taking on Waikaka. Eyes, probably, when you look at the games, probably going to be our game of the week. Big clash. Riversdale at home. Back at home after a couple of weeks. Heading down to Invercargill. They'll be pretty fizzed to be back in front of their faithful.
Yeah, this was game of the round for me. And across all divisions. I think it's going to be pretty tight. I've picked Waikiki to make the final, so I'm going to tip them to. Well, actually, is there much on the line here? Is the only other thing I can. Like, do they take points through?
I believe it's
No.
10-8-6-4-2-0, same as the Prems. So I understand
right.
Midlands get the 10. I might be wrong, but I understand they get the 10. So I guess for Riversdale, perhaps looking at that table, they might be looking for 6 or 4. I know Wyndham and Eastdale probably.
You're really playing for 2 points, aren't you? So, while there's not a lot on the line, I'll actually take Riversdale at home.
Yeah.
Unders.
Tough at home. What are you thinking, Kyle?
Yeah, that is definitely a game of the round for me. That's 2 big teams going head to head. Played them both. The Riversdale boys are going to absolutely hate me for this, but I have to go Waikiki unders 8.
Oh yeah.
What's your reason, mate? What's your rationale?
Slick backline, which probably won't mean much in the wet and cold Riversdale, but they've still got a good. I've still got a good forward pack as well. So yeah, I think if they can get it wide and they're streaming down rain, they'll get the chocolates. I think.
One Hayden Stevens might cause the Riversdale backs a few issues in particular.
Yeah, especially when they got a 9 running at 13. So we'll see how that goes. Sorry, Gus.
Is that Gus Larson, is it?
Yeah, Gussie Larson.
Should he be one of the bigger 13s going around?
Oh, huge, yeah.
He's in that sort of Manu Tuolagi mould, isn't he?
Yeah, I think he's been trying to go to the gym and push over that 70 mark. So, hopefully he gets there.
Just one thing that we better not miss, Oz. We were sent a message. Campbell Humphrey, thanks for the heads up, Campbell. Robert Blatch, 100 games for Riversdale, I believe.
Shit.
So
that's a good effort.
Sorry, take that back. It might not have been. Yes, it was. Yes, 100 games. Robert Blatch, 100 games. Jeez, I made a meal of that. But yeah, 100 games for Robert Blatch. This is just quote unquote from Campbell. He's one of the more passionate blokes you'll find around Riversdale Club. Wears his heart on his sleeve when it comes to the team and shows in every minute when he's on the field. We know that there wouldn't be a more fitting way for him to bring up his huge milestone than beating Waikiki at home on his favourite piece of dirt. There you go.
I'd imagine those two teams.
Yeah,
that's a tough one. I reckon they have a decent rivalry too, those two teams. So, yeah, I feel confident on Riversdale now.
Yeah, after reading that, to be fair, mate, I might have to go Riversdale as well, to be fair. That's got me fizzed up. So, yeah, looking forward to that clash. Hopefully, they're obviously not on the portal, but it would be good.
Yeah, I'd love to see it.
See a bit of video of that. If someone's out there with a camera, turn it on for us. We'd love to check up the highlights. Anyway, we'll see how we go. Right, we'll go to our second game. Tiana taking on Mosburn. We talked about the top team, I guess, being safe, but Tiana right in that danger zone in terms of the bottom team overall dropping down to Division 2, and they are one of those teams in that bracket. At home, though, understand they are a little bit under strength, I guess, on a negative note. So Mosburn coming off a big win. This could be an interesting one, Oz.
Yeah, I think Tiana, Mosburn will win, and I think that'll probably do Waikiwi a bit of a solid if they do win. But I don't know what the margin will be. I'll go unders. I think Tiana will put a really big effort in to try and stay up in Div 1. Or Germany. So yeah,
Germany.
Yeah, so they'll be putting in a big shift there. So we'll see if they can get the job done. But I'm picking Mosburn.
Yeah, what are you thinking, Kyle? Who you got here, mate?
Yeah, it's a tough one, especially after Tiana doing so well last week. But yeah, they're definitely short on the ground. But they'll pick a few more up at home. But yeah, I don't know, man. I think Mozzie would do strong. Yeah, they're coming off a good win. It's not far for travel. Mosburn unders.
Nice, mate.
Actually, Kyle, just on a different note, can you confirm that story you told on the pod a couple of weeks ago regarding the Mosburn Waikiwi finish, the scoring? Did I have it right, or was I off the mark there?
Yeah, you weren't wrong. On the field, we seemed to think that we were one up and it was the kick to win.